Okay, today we're talking all about sweaters. I want to go over different styles and also talk about the shirts that you can wear underneath because some work a heck of a lot better than others. I also want to reveal to you my own personal favorite way to wear a sweater, so please stick around because it's all coming right up. All right, welcome back to my channel, and as always, I'm glad that you're here. As most of you probably know by now, I'm a sweater fan, right? It's a great way, especially this time of year, to add another layer and visual interest and depth without being too bulky and getting overheated. I usually gravitate towards V-neck sweaters, but over the last year or so, I've been really getting into cardigans. And because I wear a lot of sweaters, I've got a pretty good handle on the type of shirts that work well underneath. We're gonna cover the Crewneck sweater, the V-neck, the cardigan, the zip sweater, and as a bonus, for something more interesting, the sweater blazer. First up though is the crewneck. Now, truth be told, this style is probably my least worn. I'm just not a super fan of the crewneck design because I think it just kind of resembles too closely to just a regular sweatshirt. I don't know. However, if you like the crewneck, here's a few ideas. Firstly, I would not suggest wearing a white t-shirt underneath this one because personally, I think having the white t-shirt visible around the neckline when it pokes out just sort of looks a little bit off. I prefer to see either nothing other than a clean neckline or a tight collar like this. Because here's another thing. Now, because crewnecks are relatively tight to your neckline, if you have a button-up shirt underneath this that's a little too big for you, the sweater will end up crunching up and squashing the shirt collar, making the collar look kind of funny. So be sure if you wear a button-up shirt underneath your sweater that it fits you well. And that's a perfect segue into talking about the type of shirt to wear underneath the sweater. So for me, I'm either gonna wear a white t-shirt, yes, even though I just said not to, I will explain in just a minute, a polo shirt or even a button-down collar shirt like this one. And it all kind of has to do with the type of sweater that you're wearing. And I know this might sound a little bit confusing, but stay with me and I'll get to it. Okay, continuing on with shirts. The number one thing that I'm trying to avoid with collar shirts underneath sweaters is the collar points sort of flying outside the sweater. This is not a good look, and the best way to avoid it is to wear button-down collar shirts like this, right? It's a fantastic, smart, casual look, and you never have to worry about your flying collar points. Okay, let me circle back to the white t-shirt because I did promise to clarify. Now, I already mentioned that the white t-shirt looks kind of funny underneath the crewneck sweater because it just sort of looks like a piece of underwear when it pokes out, right? But I'm okay with it underneath a V-neck sweater or even a cardigan sweater. It's more of an intentional choice because obviously it's a lot more visible, and I think it's a super casual but also a nice looking pairing. Another great option is a polo shirt. And the collar points can be a little problematic with some polos, but for the most part, I don't run into too many problems. Again, this is a great looking combo in my opinion. So now that we've talked a little bit about what to wear underneath the sweater, let's talk about the sweater itself. Okay, we've already talked about the crewneck, so now let's talk about the V-neck. So besides the cardigan that we'll talk about next, the V-neck is really one of my favorite go-to sweaters. And just like the crewneck, it's very easy to wear casually, but I think it's a way better option for dressing up, at least in my opinion. I like seeing a nice tie knot showing, and wearing it in this manner with a tie is dressy, but also casual at the same time because you can easily wear that combo with jeans and a nice pair of sneakers. Just watch those collar points and go with the button-down collar if you don't wear a tie. Next up is the cardigan and zip sweaters, which are probably my two favorite types of sweaters. You can wear this unbuttoned with a simple t-shirt for a super casual look, but I usually always wear mine buttoned up. Just make sure that you leave the bottom button undone, just like you would with the blazer. The top button is kind of optional, right? You can either have this buttoned or unbuttoned it. It really doesn't matter. But you want to make sure that the bottom one is undone so the sweater can naturally flare out down at your waist. And depending on your climate, you can go with a thin wool fabric or a thicker cotton poly blend for more insulation from the cold. And here in Southern California, it's still pretty chilly in the late afternoons and evenings, so I can wear something like this as a light jacket. Thin wool cardigans are a terrific layering piece underneath a sport jacket or a bomber jacket because it adds a lot of depth, and you're just not going to see a ton of other guys wearing that combo because most guys are just going to go with a hoodie or some type of very casual sweatshirt, but something like a cardigan adds a ton of visual interest. Okay, and as a bonus, I want to talk for a minute about the sweater blazer or the knit blazer because not everybody knows about these, but they're out there if you look. This one specifically is from John Henrik, and I've made some other videos about this brand, and I've got another video coming up in a few weeks, but I think this is sort of the perfect middle ground between a cardigan sweater and a light jacket. It's got all the characteristics of a sport jacket or a blazer with the same unstructured fit and comfort of a sweater. I mean, I'll wear this as a light jacket if I'm out running around for a couple hours, but it's also super easy to wear dressed up, and it's something a little unexpected so you can stand out from the crowd a little bit. Okay, please do me a favor before you leave and tap the thumbs up button, and also leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite sweater is. And if you're a subscriber here, that means I'll see you in just a few days for another brand new video. But until then, my friends, live well, stay healthy, and I do hope to see you again very soon.